All right, so we've been following the hemp ban, aka the closing of the loophole that existed within the 2018 Farm Bill that essentially allowed you to sell cannabis as hemp and among other things like Delta 8, etc. So we've been following that very closely, and today is no different. I have a interesting story, and it's kind of something I didn't consider. So all this time we've been talking about like, oh, it's this lobby, that lobby, and one of those lobbies that like lobbied to have this banned in the first place. A lot speculated that it was like the alcohol lobby, and at face value, that makes sense. But I don't think that is necessarily true. Now, I'm sure there's so much money going around our politics. There's probably still some in there. But something interesting, it seems at least in Minnesota, a lot of brewers that, brewed alcohol has switched over to hemp-based beverages like the THC beverages in order to compensate for declining beer sales. Because as we covered in other videos on this subject, alcohol sales and just the view on alcohol it's declining across the country. And some studies, that one of them we covered, even suggests that like weed had a big thing to do with that. And you'd be like, oh, one substance to another, but like comparing weed and alcohol, I mean, I always do because that's what everyone else does, but like at its like core, it's so like non-comparable. One actually has like medicinal usages, and the recreational side of it is nowhere near as like dangerous to public health and just the safety of society in general. You don't often hear of people getting high and then driving into a family of four, driving down the wrong side of the highway. You don't often hear of people getting high and then beating their wives, okay? You don't often hear of people smoking weed and then getting into a bar fight. Like this stuff is so few and far in between. And most importantly, people don't die from consuming THC. You can't consume THC fast enough to kill you. Alcohol, on the other hand, is a literal poison, and people die from over drinking or even just drinking every single day. Now, um, to be completely honest with you, I have no idea where I was going with that, but I had some stuff to say and I said it. Now, let's go ahead and get into this damn article. And no, I'm definitely not high. That's, if you ever wonder why I have a lot of like Joe Biden-esque moments, it's probably because I'm high. I'm sorry. Hate to break it to you. This is the Baker Report. Anyways, Minnesota Brewers battle hemp ban. 2,700 jobs in danger. Brewers worry about new hemp laws. So a quick recap here. What we know, Congress recently passed legislation that effectively bans intoxicating hemp products as a part of a government funding bill. As I always said, or as the Republicans kept claiming, this is a clean CR, clean continuing resolution. It's no politics in here. It's completely clean. It's just funding, bro. Yeah, a little known fact that this was a big part of it. And there was a bunch of other things in there that we haven't directly covered either that were clearly political, but that's not the point of this video. So this has led to concerns among Minnesota brewers who rely on hemp-derived beverages to fill the gap left by declining beer sales. THC beverages and gummies make up about 23% of the work at craft brewers in the state. So I don't know if this is factored in to, so we've been covering consistently that, give or take 30 billion is about to disappear, a $30 billion industry that is, and dozens of thousands of jobs all will be gone in a year if nothing is done about this. Does that include like alcohol beer companies, brewers who are classified as like, an alcohol or a beer beverage company or whatever? Does that account for them that have kind of dipped into this hemp beverage game? Does that account for them? Because in Minnesota, 23% of the work they do is like, it's not just beer anymore. It's like hemp beer now. And I didn't realize that was like, I never thought of that actually. Like that's a smart beverage company, like a beer alcohol company that can actually like read the tea leaves and just read the statistics and of the way the business is moving, shifting to this like hemp beverage thing it's amazing, and like that is just like a no-brainer, and like any savvy business in this sphere should do the same. Like when when can we get like Bud Light, like hemp Bud Light, or something like that? So that creates a whole nother problem. Now, like alcohol companies, brewers are now going to be hit too. So what a cascading shit show that Republicans have created. Our good old Mitch McConnell. Bob Galligan. Oh, yeah. And I mean, to be fair, this is kind of bipartisan because as we covered, what I think is the real reason that this happened, it's kind of a mix of everything, but it resulted from a letter that 39 state attorney generals from obviously both red and blue states petitioned to Congress, like the top committees in the Senate and House, to basically do what they just did, which was to close this 2018 Farm Bill loophole. Anyways, I digress. Bob Galligan of the Minnesota Craft Brewers Guild highlighted the potential job losses, saying, if this language passes, I will lose, well, my friends will lose 2,700 jobs in 353 days. And that's not like every hemp job in Minnesota. I'm sure it's much higher than that. This is just from craft brewers who decided to pivot because they could see the writing on the wall. It's like, hey, we need to adapt, and that's what they did, and now they are being punished for it. The hemp industry in Minnesota is valued at $200 million, comparable to the winter sports industry. The changes to hemp laws are set to take effect next November, prompting brewers to encourage consumers to voice their opposition to the law. Lawmakers push for change. Senator Lindsey Port compared the economic impact of the hemp law changes to banning winter sports, about a $230 million industry. What a Minnesota thing. What a Minnesota comparison. If Congress told us tomorrow that we can't snowmobile anymore, people would lose their minds. That is the same kind of economic impact, she said on Monday. I love Minnesota, man. What a state. And she's essentially saying, if Congress told us tomorrow that we can't smoke weed anymore, people would lose their minds. Okay. Senator Tina Smith. Well, I mean, like, it's legal in Minnesota in general, right? That was something Tim Walz did, I think. But like general cannabis, but still, like, it's nice to have the loophole alternative because it's the same thing, but so much fucking cheaper. Like, I'm sorry if you think that's undermining like marijuana companies or whatever, like compete. Anyway, Senator Tina Smith emphasized the importance of educating the public about a safe and responsible hemp market, stating, we have a really important education job to help folks understand that you can have a safe and secure and responsible market that is good for business, that is for consumers. Local perspective, both Minnesota Senators Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith. Oh, God, Amy Klobuchar. Oh, I shudder at that name every time. But it seems like she's on the right side of something good here. Are on the Agriculture Committee and plan to advocate for Minnesota's regulations, which focus on safety and labeling restrictions similar to those for alcohol. Exactly. That's what I think you should do. Make sure it's labeled, make sure that it's tested and the reports are available publicly, make sure it's age gated. Boom. All right. Boom. You don't need to limit the amount of THC in something. THC itself is not going to kill you, no matter how synthetic it is. The only thing ever related to THC that kills you is kind of similar to like nicotine vapes. When you get a vape that uses some kind of like agent in it, like what is it, like vitamin E or whatever, to cut it or to mix it or whatever. That's what kills you. But like THC itself is not going to kill you. So I think you should be able to flood the market with Delta 8, Delta 10, THCO, THCP, THCV, whatever the fuck you want. So as long as it publicly tests and it's safe as far as other additives go. Let's see. What we don't know, the exact impact of the new hemp laws on Minnesota's economy and the timeline for potential changes remain unclear. Well, I can tell you what it's not going to be good, okay? And it's not going to be good for the entire country in general because it's a $30 billion industry. And that 30 billion figure comes from a report from 2023. Now, I've been following and a part of this market since like late 2020, early 2021. And from there to, I mean, obviously from like then to now, it's exploded. Like the difference is very noticeable. And there's definitely a significant difference between, I would say, 2023 and the moment we're in now. Like I feel like every 2 to 3 years, like it's doubling in popularity. And as a result, the business is doubling. So yeah, at least we have people in Congress who have this on their radar and seems to be on the right side of this. Of course, in the House, you have figures like Thomas Massey. You have Nancy Mace, who actually was extremely based, and everything she said regarding this ban was it was based and it made sense. And I will give her endless credit for that. And she also proposed a bill. And we'll see where that goes. And we have some people in the Senate that are aware and are working towards, of course, what we just read here: Tina Smith and A.B. Klobuchar. Along we have Rand Paul. I think even Ted Cruz was like kind of on the right side of this too. So there's hope. We'll just have to see where this goes. Yeah, I'll try to cover it as best I can and bring you all the latest and greatest news on the hemp situation. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.